Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to another segment of The MCR. Mac and I coming at you. My name's TJ. Wearing the same hat, except mine's got a better bend. Anyway, today, the Super Bowl. And I don't give a rip. And I will confess to being a fair weather fan. But concern compels me to exercise thoughts of sympathy toward Mac. Mac is a sports aficionado. I used to call him the stat master. He and so in some regard, unfortunately for Mac, given all this wokeness, kind of messes up his desire in any way to pay attention to what's happening today. You know what? I don't even know who's playing. That's how much I don't give a rip.
I do know that. It is the Philadelphia Eagles, who are very good, against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are very good.
And see, I didn't know. I didn't care to know. I don't give a rip. I have pretty much turned my back on it all. And I'll tell you right now, it goes beyond football. Yeah, I think it really started getting to me when they were letting Colin Kaepernick kneel, or back when they were doing the BLM protests and people were coming up with their hands up, don't you know? As it
that
hands
was
up,
the
don't
NBA
shoot.
did that. That idiot LeBron James.
I just I couldn't even stomach that. I just couldn't stomach that. Wokeness has corrupted NASCAR. We did a segment on the whole phony noose incident with Bubba Wallace down at Talladega, you know, and and in all these sports, I was kind of a fair weather fan, but I would at least occasionally look to see who was in the lead, who was doing what, how's this guy or that guy doing, or how's this team or that team doing. I mean, I would keep tabs to that extent. I can't even tell you the last time I looked at a sports page, Mac.
Oh, it's been well. First off, I don't read newspapers to begin with, but yeah, we've gone to a number of baseball games. We like minor league baseball in years past, but we went to a game. It was on Cinco de Mayo, and I think you remember
Oh
this
yeah.
incident. That they were handing out sombreros, and there was a man in a wheelchair handing out the sombreros, and he got really pissed off because we wouldn't take the sombrero, and I think he thought it was some sort of racist statement. When I just did, well, first off, I had two girls, so I can't take home one sombrero, and I didn't know if you were going to want to give yours up because I know how you like to wear those, but and but the guy was really bent out of shape about the sombrero.
I remember that special night, and my first thought was, I'm not carrying this thing around with me all night,
Hell no. And you're sure as hell not going to wear it when you got people sitting behind you. They can't see the ball game because you're wearing a sombrero instead of a baseball cap.
Wokeness has even worked its way into hockey, and that at this point, nothing's sacred.
You had to think that hockey was going to be the last stand against wokeness.
Yeah,
but they too have failed us.
Well, I guess there is a shred of hope because you had the Russian Philadelphia Flyers player. His name is Ivan Provorov, and I guess he has a practicing belief in Russian Orthodox. And he said, "I'm not doing it." And basically he held the line and put the team on notice. And in some regard they kind of gave in to him a little bit, for lack of a better description. What I found interesting in that whole scenario there is you got this Canadian sportscaster who took issue with Ivan Provorov. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. And his comment was, and now this is Sid Sixero, Canadian sportscaster. Okay. Nothing scares me more than any human that says, I'm not doing this because of my religious beliefs. Nothing scares him more. Nothing
Boy,
scares
he's
him more.
pretty. Well, I'll tell you, not much scares me, but uh, so a bear rushing him in the woods wouldn't scare him as much as someone wanting to practice.
No,
Now,
not a,
this is Canada, of course, so they don't have any
yeah,
rights.
yeah,
But in the United States, I don't know which is no, take that back. This guy is playing in Philadelphia, so it
yeah.
is the United States. And in this country, you have a right under the First Amendment to practice your religion.
Well, in in I'll credit this guy for me even looking in to see what's going on in hockey. But for the most part, this woke agenda has really, you know, I'm thinking of my point at this point. I don't give a rip about any of it. And like I said at the very beginning of this segment, at this point, I just kind of have feelings of sympathy for the sports enthusiasts who.
Well, it's in our pregame talk here, we were talking about. I said, just say you love a cold glass of milk, and I walk by the restaurant and I knock it over for you just because I can. That's
Yeah,
kind of what they're doing. They're ruining everything they can because you got to understand the leftist mind is about destruction. What do they build other than destruction? They just tear everything down. If you build a beautiful sandcastle, I come along and I can't build one, so I kick yours over. That's why I call these people the sandcastle kids.
and one final thought for me here. They are going to be singing the Black National Anthem, and we did a segment on that a
Yeah.
long time ago, in which we spoke about how the words run contrary to the very message that they're trying to send.
Yeah, it's actually a bit of a religious song.
Yeah, and I thought, these people, they're totally oblivious to to the message of the very song that they're using
All they
to.
care about is it's black.
Yeah, but they're oblivious to the message of the very song they're using uh to push their agenda.
Right.
I just it well, I just can't figure it out, and I'm not going to try and figure it out. I'm through trying to figure it out.
Well,
I'm you know what?
if sports went away, you pointed out that I'm a big sports fan, or I was, but the wokeness has ruined it for me. I haven't
Yeah.
watched the NBA in a decade because it's nothing but a bunch of punks and thugs. Hockey, same thing. Punks and thugs.
And
Uh,
like I'm going to guess now cuz I'm trying to go back into the recesses of my mind here. Was it Charles Barkley that mentioned uh the owners as the NBA owners as slave owners or something or something to
yeah,
that?
that LeBron James is oppressed with his $500 million he's made since he was 18 years old. He had $70 million when he was 18 years old, and he's oppressed in this country.
I mean,
Seriously?
if you had billionaire uh, owners making making others millionaires who came from the ghetto, we'll say, and they're going to complain and say the things that they're saying.
Well, tell
I
me,
don't
did
get it.
did slaves were slaves millionaires? Did they see the profit of did they see the fruit of their labor at the end of the day? I think here's what they got. I think they got quite not enough to eat, no education, and a kick in the frickin' head. That's real oppression.
Well, anyway, that's all I got. Today's the Super Bowl, and I don't give a rip. That
Same here.
so we'll call that a wrap. And sorry for those who you know this whole wokeness has left a
Well, they
hole
can
in their
feel free
heart.
to boycott us.
Yeah, yeah. But that's all I got. That's my rant on this subject matter.
Sounds good to
So
me.
we'll catch you in the next one. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.